Welcome back, my loves. I'm so excited to dive into your money mindset. Your money blueprint is everything. I'm going to give you a really key part to what is actually happening when we have a lack or belief around money in your money mindset, and it's probably not what you think, and it actually has nothing to do with money. And I'm going to share with you one of our first questions that we got submitted in our Ask Anything question box, and we're going to dive in. You ready? You ready? Let's go. So the question is this: how do you get comfortable with pricing your offers as someone growing their business? Now, I want to make mention of something in this question because I really love it. And it's this: Throws phone. It's this beautiful person who submitted this question is a spiritual entrepreneur. She's a spiritual guide. So she is charging money for something spiritual, for inviting people back into their soul, to deepen into their limiting beliefs. And this is something that should be charged money for. Let that sink into your brain as well. So let's go over it. Now, you might be listening to this and you could have any varying degree of a money block. You could be like, oh my gosh, my business is making like no money. How do I even charge for this? Or you could be like, okay, I'm making money, but I know I'm ready to invite more in. So let's have a little explore. So in this first point, I want you to remember something really important. Say you feel awkward asking for money, or you don't want to charge too much, or whatever's happening there in that block to charging for your beautiful, important services. You are actually doing your audience, your client, a service by charging for your service. Let me explain. If I were to go into a shop and buy this book, or a good book by the way, The Surrender Experiment, I would never just take it from the shop and be like, I'm gonna have this book. So why do we feel that way with our services? It makes little to no sense. If you wouldn't take it off the shelf and buy it and walk out with it and not buy it, then the same goes for your service. It is a service that takes time and effort, and you are deeply skilled in embodying and learning this thing and providing it to the world. Now remember too, when you're sharing it with the world, you are only sharing up to what you know. Here's a great example. If everyone was in a grade, right? Grade 1 all the way to grade 10, let's just use for example, or grade 6. If you believe you're in grade 4, it doesn't make you better or worse than the person in grade 3. It just makes you in grade 4. But if you believe you're in grade 4, teaching your services at grade 4, you're probably going to get clients who are in grade 1 or 2. So you are teaching where you're at in grade 4 to the person who's in grade 1 or 2. That's it. And then you're probably not going to teach someone in grade 6. Doesn't make you better or worse. It just means that that person in grade 6 is probably going to someone in, year 7, year 8, year 9, year 10, because that's where they can learn from. But that person in grade 1, they don't want to go to someone in year 8, year 9, year 10, because that level of teaching will be too big of a gap. And that is part of why you need to charge for your service. So in this point, I want you to remember you are doing your client, your audience, a service by charging for your service. In point 2, I'm going to mix these together, right? I want you to think about it like this. When you are charging for your beautiful offer, your beautiful service, start where you are. Start exactly where you are. So instead of, it's a bit of an echo chamber of like, charge your worth. Yes, to a degree, I get that. I understand that. I believe that. But you also just get to start where you are. That might mean that right now you want to charge $100 for something instead of $200. And in the charge your worth echo chamber that can be the online world, it doesn't mean you're not feeling worthy. It just means you are meeting you at your edge, yourself at your edge. And this bleeds into this next point of like, meet yourself at the edge slowly, mindfully. Okay, it's there. Okay, it's there. Ooh, and then put your price up gradually. So something I give my clients is a stepping stone. Charge that price 3 times, pop it up. Charge it 3 times. If it feels good again, pop it up. On and on it goes. So you're almost seeing your pricing as a stepping stone and a step ladder up. Its way up to charging more and more. That is a really big way, I think, to get more comfortable with pricing our offers, especially as someone newer in business, because we're just seeing as a little staircase, step up and up and up. Now for this third part, I want to talk about the thing that I believe is probably most important, and making mention to what I mentioned at the beginning of this video, which is actually about the fact that it has nothing to do with money. That a block like this shows me it's coming from what I call money as trauma. So this is the fact that your money blocks or your payment blocks or your charging for your service or offer block is actually coming from this deep part inside of you, that there is a trauma there. And the trauma probably or most likely or potentially has nothing to do with money and everything to do with those stones, those experiences, those traumas that are taking up our energy body. So what we want to start doing is understand what is the trauma, the belief, the experience as a child that's residing in your body that's making you feel like you don't want to charge, that's making you not able to call in money or have a money block, and that it's actually probably about something else. What did your parents say about your worth? What did your parents say about your belief in you? What did they say about doing what you love? So actually meeting this block as you would any other limiting belief that potentially is just about something completely left of center, and actually really start to deeply explore that with yourself and really look at what's there for you. If it's more about like, oh, I don't want to charge for this offering, maybe it's more of like a wounded healer thing happening, like I should be able to give this for free. I mean, like, I don't know who pays for your roof over your head, but it's my business and I want it to be yours too. Maybe it's more of like there's a different belief happening in charging for your offering, like who am I to charge for this? Well, I don't know enough. So then you may be looking at more of a not enough wound in that. So you see how we can get clues from what we're looking at and how to deepen into that part of us. So my loves, I want to know about how this lands for you. If one of these 3 points you feel like really resonates, I want to hear it below. If you want to hear deeper parts of this, it also might feel useful to subscribe in the link below to the newsletter list so we can go deeper into what happens underneath all of this and how we can actually truly move through it. And at different layers of your business experience, of your human experience, it could change too. And there's something really beautiful about that. So anyway, my loves, do the things, do the stuff. I can't wait to hear from you, and go charge for your impact, so you can have your income, because that is what the world needs. And the world needs more of your soul's mission out there in the world.